Welcome back. 4 calorie target mistakes that sabotage weight loss. Now, in this video, I'm going to go over the 4 ways people get stuck. If they're unsure, if they know what they're doing when it comes to calorie counting, choosing a calorie target, if it's sustainable. 2, picking unrealistic goals. 3, getting impatient for your physical results. And 4, not being sure how to eat fewer calories without feeling deprived. This is the video that you want to watch. Saw this on Reddit. See if you can relate. I used a total daily energy expenditure calculator. It gave me my basal metabolic rate and my maintenance calories. How many calories should I eat to achieve a healthy and sustainable weight loss? Should I eat below my basal metabolic rate or below my maintenance calories? Would a 200 calorie per day deficit be enough to see results? Now, just to answer the question, 200 calories less than your maintenance calorie calculation can be a sustainable deficit for gradual, healthy weight loss. And in this video, I'm going to give you some context and things to consider and those common ways that people sabotage their progress. So my name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help business owners lose weight and feel their best without crash diets or guilt. If you want to check for your next steps and your health habit scores, you can get personalized tips with the Live Aligned scorecard link below on YouTube. Now, the short of it, when it comes to calorie deficit, is the way to see results is eating and drinking fewer calories than your body uses over a span of time. That is pretty much the definition of weight loss. I mean, you don't have to track your calories closely to do this. You don't have to know what calories and calorie deficit and all these definitions are in the first place, but you do want to be aware of ways that you can get caught up, not getting the results you want, feeling stuck, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like something's wrong with you, all that confusion and stuff. Forget that. Let's get you on the right track. First, common mistake issue that people run into is they're unsure of what they're doing. One person I had a conversation with last night, they said my calorie deficit is 1200. It's not. So we want to go over some definitions so you understand, you have a framework to start, and then you can choose more information or choose your next steps correctly. So some definitions here: total daily energy expenditure. This is how many calories your body uses in a day, including your body at rest, when it's resting and repairing organs and just existing, breathing, all that. You have your thermic effect of food, how much energy it takes to digest the food that you eat. You have non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is how many calories you burn from regular activities like walking or maybe washing dishes. And you have exercise activity thermogenesis. So that's just a quick summary of those. Your daily calorie intake is how many calories you're eating in a day, and eating and drinking. All right. And then the difference between the total daily energy expenditure, that's your estimated amount of energy that you're going to use for a whole day, minus your daily calorie intake. That's going to be a number, right? And if that number is negative, that is going to be considered a deficit. It's you eating fewer calories than you use in the course of a day. I have another video on this. I'll link below on YouTube so you can get a more in-depth explanation. Now, something that happens when people are counting calories or using these total daily energy expenditure calculators online, these calculations, these are estimations, right? Even the labels on your food, they don't usually measure exactly how many calories are in it because there's so much variation in food, when it's grown, how it's processed, all that stuff. And then you're making calculations based on estimations. In addition to possibly not knowing what's in your food in the first place or how big a serving size is, all that stuff. Or forgetting to account for things like drinks and condiments, sauces, all that stuff too. So what I want to point out here is that math is different from behavior, and there's lots of room for errors and mistakes. And so if you're not getting results, you have to be able to adjust. But it really does start with a solid foundation of knowing those terms like total daily energy expenditure, calorie deficit, and what counts for that. All right. A little bit more in here about 3,500 calories and 1 pound of fat. So if you're on a 500 calorie deficit diet for 7 days, that's about 3,500 calories, which will be about a pound of weight loss per week. So if your total daily energy expenditure is, or your calories taken in is 500 calories less than your total daily energy expenditure for 7 days, that's 3,500 calories in a week. And you could estimate that you'd lose about a pound per week. So that's a little framework. Click like if that helps you out understanding some of the groundwork of calorie expenditure. Let me know in the comments if you need more help. The second common mistake that people make, with or without that wisdom from the first part, is picking unrealistic goals. A big thing here, just thinking that you're going to make a huge leap in your changes and habits, and it's not realistic. Um, Picking an unrealistic rate of change goal, so trying to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, like some of those supplements say they can help you do, or not picking realistic calorie targets that are appropriate for you and that target weight loss change. Something else to keep in mind, weight can fluctuate day to day based on sodium intake, hydration levels, activity levels, hormones. So think your weight will go down every time you make a healthier choice won't work. Some people, like, I've been on a diet for a week and I don't see any differences on the scale. That's not exactly how you work, how your body works, how your metabolism shifts, all that stuff. All right. Something else to point out here, it's not eat less food, it's eat fewer calories. So people say you have to eat less and move more. When it comes to weight loss, it's oversimplification that misses a key point about calorie deficit, calorie expenditure thing. You have to eat fewer calories. A lot of times that does look like eating less food, but that could also look like eating healthier choices, higher fiber foods, lower calorie density foods, less fat, and fried foods, which have a lot of calories in a smaller amount of space, all those things. So it's not eat less food, it's eat fewer calories. Next thing here to help you with these realistic goals is don't just start skipping meals or eating as little as possible. That's the way that people think, like, okay, if I'm going to eat less food, I need to skip meals. That's logical, except the foundation of that is a fallacy. It doesn't make sense for what you're trying to do, and that's actually going to be very harmful for you, sabotage your weight loss. So you want to avoid that. Another mistake that people make when it comes to picking unrealistic goals is just assuming that 1,200 calories per day is correct. Now, it's basically made up. But what happened is that 1,200 calories became a catchphrase for people, like a target that you should not go under without specific medical attention or advice from a dietitian, because you don't want people just picking up information from anywhere and trying a crash diet that's too restrictive and doesn't allow them to thrive and can be harmful. So that's how they got that 1,200 calorie diet guideline, but that's not really a baseline for most people because it's not based on your current habits. You probably eat a lot more than that. And this is a quite small amount of calories. So the relevance to you is important when it comes to picking a realistic goal, calorie target, any of that. So one thing to point out when you're talking about 3,500 calories and 1 pound of body fat, typical guidance has weight change of about 1 pound per week. We talked about that. So we're adding more context. If you've been gaining weight, you've been eating in surplus of your maintenance. So going below maintenance is a bigger deficit from your current habits. So for example, if your maintenance calories is calculated 2,000 calories per day, but you've been going and eating 2,500 calories, there's a 500 calorie surplus. So if you pick a target that is 1,500, that's actually 1,000 calorie deficit from your current habits. And that could be a lot more challenging, twice as hard maybe as a regular 500 calorie diet. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you haven't been aware of your current habits, anything can be happening. You can be eating a lot more than your maintenance calories or a lot less. So knowing your baseline and tracking that first is a big part of success in choosing a realistic calorie target so you can understand what you're doing. So that's why earlier I said 200 calorie per day deficit can be effective and appropriate, or even being intentional about eating your calculated maintenance calories. That can be a great first step for you. If you haven't been tracking your food or you just been eating, as you feel or not scheduling it according to your schedule, anything like that, then once you calculate your maintenance calories, you can make that your new calorie target. And that's a good way to understand your eating process. Try to look at more of your food labels, understanding what's in your food. You'll start to plan your meals a little more clearly when you're aiming for any calorie target instead of eating without knowing those calorie details. All right. So 200 calorie per day deficit can be effective, appropriate. And if you do the math on that, 200 calories per day times 7 days is about 1,400 calories. 1,400 calories divided by 3,500 calories per pound, you'll lose about 0 0.4 pounds per week if you're on a 200 calorie per day diet, which might seem small for a lot of people. However, when you're taking intentional steps and gaining progress in your weight loss goals, you're focused on sustainability. This is a really good, sustainable way to do that. If you, we'll get into what happens if you try to go too fast in the next step, actually. 3, getting impatient is an easy way to get stuck. So, what this person said, I've been working out and dieting for 2 weeks and I can't tell the difference. You might feel like, why am I doing this? I need to have faster results, all that stuff. I'm making a video, I'll put a link to it, how business owners can be patient with weight loss. That's a good way to understand more of the thought process behind weight change and break that down for you. You want to take your time, make sure your changes are sustainable. That way you don't just go back to your old habits and revert and regain all the weight that you had before. It's a common mistake, right? The 4th mistake I have, not understanding how to eat fewer calories without feeling deprived. This is a big one. Let me know if this is you in the comments. But the idea behind this is that weight loss doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to, cut out all sugars and leave out all your favorite desserts, all that stuff. You don't have to do it like that, and that's not sustainable. Like, people, when they start diets, they'll often imagine that, they're never going to have a piece of birthday cake again, or a cupcake, or like anything that you want to eat that is sweet and also delicious. And so you imagine you have to cut it out indefinitely. And of course that doesn't work for most people. And then you feel bad about yourself when you eventually have it and you're like, well, I guess I'm a bad eater, and you give up. So that's a common mistake when it comes to weight loss. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. So understand that. When I coach people, I want them to know the vision, and I ask them this key question: what does a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams look like? And it probably has more to do with understanding how you eat and being able to manage your decisions in an empowered way, instead of cutting out foods that you enjoy completely for the rest of your life. So, other things that can help you eat fewer calories without feeling deprived is eating enough fiber, 25 plus grams per day. American Heart Association says 25 to 30. And the more you eat, generally could be good in terms of lots of health benefits, reduce your risk of high cholesterol, help lower your cholesterol, and also it's big for appetite management and understanding, if you're really hungry or if you just need more fiber. And then high fiber foods also tend to have fewer calories than low fiber foods overall. Okay, next, being mindful of added sugars and high fat foods is a really good way to understand how to eat fewer calories, especially if you get really hungry. You just usually will go for high fat or fried foods. That's a good way to add a lot of calories into a small amount of food. So it takes more volume for you to feel full. When you have a high volume of high calorie foods, like a condensed form like fat, then you're more likely to get excess of calories. Whereas if you had more high fiber foods, that would take up more space and have fewer calories. You'll feel more full and satisfied. Same with added sugars. It's a really condensed way, especially the sweets. Or if you're drinking those, if you're drinking high sugar drinks, then that's not going to help you feel satisfied. You're still going to eat more food on top of that. So it's like a supercharger of calories if you have too many added sugars and high fat foods. Keep that in mind. So those are the 4 things that you want to look out for: not knowing what you're doing, picking unrealistic goals, getting impatient for physical results, and not being sure how to eat fewer calories without feeling deprived. Let me know what you think in the comments and what video you want to see next. You can still take that Live Aligned scorecard. That's linked below. And then next, if you want more details on total daily energy expenditure, calories, how to track them, all that. Warning, are you about to start a low calorie diet? That's the next video to watch. I'll put that right here. Let me know. As always, keep practicing. Peace.